Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. We're glad that you are here today and have chosen to join us today at the AFP National Philanthropy Day Awards and luncheon. We have a great program planned for you and to celebrate philanthropy in our region, so we're glad you could be here. I'm Sam Vigil Jr. I am the president of the Oregon and SW Washington chapter of the Association of Fundraising Professionals. I am also the director of annual giving for the Adventist Health Foundation. For 28 years, AFP has held this luncheon to pay tribute to philanthropic leadership in Oregon and Southwest Washington. And while this luncheon is the most public of our chapter's activities, the Association of Fundraising Professionals works year-round to promote philanthropy and ethical fundraising through education, certification, advocacy, and recognition of philanthropic heroism. The funds raised through this event help support all of the chapter's activities throughout the year, and we thank you for your support. Thank you for being here today. I'd like to take a moment to recognize and acknowledge a couple of people and entities. Joining us today, we are pleased to let you know that the City of Portland Mayor, Charlie Hales, is here with us. Mayor Hales, thank you. AFP is especially pleased to recognize the Oregon State University Foundation and the University of Oregon Foundation as the luncheon's presenting sponsors. Please join me in welcoming to the stage to represent the Oregon State University Foundation Board Chair Ruth Beyer, and for the University of Oregon Foundation, the Chair of the Foundation Board of Trustees, Steve Holwerda.
Thank you, Sam. And thank you all for joining us today. I am proud to be here on behalf of Oregon State University and the OSU Foundation. We are pleased for the opportunity to again sponsor this event. Everyone in this room knows the power of philanthropy. At Oregon State, where we just concluded our first ever capital campaign, our campaign for OSU, the impact of philanthropy is tangible. Our donors can see the results of their generosity. In our campaign, we created more than 600 new scholarships for students, and now more than 3,000 students on campus benefit from donor-funded scholarships. Approximately 70% of the students are from Oregon high schools, and approximately 20% of our student population is made up of U.S. minorities. They and their fellow students are the future adults of our communities that will lead our businesses, pay our taxes, hold civic office, raise strong children, and hopefully be the charitable donors of the future generation. We also raised funds to support endowed faculty and provide facilities and support for research, connecting to potentially breakthrough advances in earthquake preparation, ALS, and other issues and challenges facing us. These are but two examples from a very long list. As our campaign concludes, we have turned quickly to look ahead to the future, and we are already focused on new projects that will benefit Oregon and our world that can be made possible with philanthropic support. We are working on an exciting marine studies initiative that will capitalize on the existing Hatfield Marine Science program in Newport, recognizing that our oceans may hold the key to addressing issues such as world hunger, climate change, and closer to home, the health of our coastal economies. We are also looking at new technologies and wood building products that would increase the value add benefit of our timber resources, rather than simply exporting many logs offshore. All supported through the generosity of our donors, who see their financial support of projects such as these as their way to change the present and envision a future that is brighter and full of opportunity. Congratulations to today's awardees, and thank you to everyone in the room for the role you play in creating our great philanthropic community. Thanks.
It's nice to sponsor this with Oregon State. We may be rivals on the field, but we're friends in fundraising. Also, I want you all to think about this. Sometimes you come to an event such as this and you're wondering where your table's going to be. If you ever feel badly that you're at the back of the room, just think about what it's like to be the mayor of the city and be sitting way over there. So, Charlie, it's nice to have you here. There are a lot of hard jobs. I was a fundraiser once, 27 years ago, and I think the hardest job is fundraising, going out and asking others for money. So salute all of you in the room today. In 1872, fundraising really took hold at the University of Oregon because a group of individuals raised $27,500 to buy the land to start the University of Oregon. And ever since then, fundraising has been a critical part of the University of Oregon's success. So on behalf of the University of Oregon Foundation, we want to thank each of you for being a change agent in our community and what you've done. And we also want to honor and recognize the recipients of today's awards. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Steve. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to take a moment and take note of the sponsors listed in your program. Of course, without their support, we could not hold this event and recognize the great role philanthropy plays in our community. I want to offer my thanks and appreciation to each of our sponsors. Your support helps make this event possible. It is an honor and privilege to celebrate and honor our outstanding philanthropists and leaders in philanthropy. So thank you very much, sponsors. Also at your table, you'll find the magazine the Oregonian Media Group has designed and produced for our event today. This magazine was distributed throughout the region in last Friday's Oregonian and is online at there, OregonLive.com/premium/AFP. Please join me in thanking Chris Anderson and the team at the Oregonian Media Group for helping keep philanthropy front and center in our communities. Thank you, Chris and team. The Oregon Southwest Washington chapter is led by an active board of volunteers. I would like to recognize these volunteers and would ask that the AFP board members present, would you please stand for a moment? The chapter has seen tremendous growth in its membership over the past several years and now numbers nearly 180 professional ethical fundraisers. So, I'm sure there are many AFP chapter members with us today. Would all of our AFP chapter members please stand and be recognized throughout the room? As part of the AFP mission, AFP actively supports professional certification and offers an annual refresher course for those studying to take the Certified Fundraising Executive Examination. That's also known as the CFRE. There are more than 5,000 CFREs in the world and just over 4,300 in the United States. There are more than 80 CFREs in Oregon and Southwest Washington. Of those, 28 are members of the AFP Oregon Southwest Washington chapter. Would all of those who have obtained the CFRE certification, would you, if you're here in the room, would you please stand so we can see who you are? We are also privileged to have in the room with us just one of over 100, just over 100 ACFREs or advanced CFRE. Would you please join me in recognizing James Phelps? James. You may know that there are other professional certifications, designations in our fundraising profession. So I encourage you to inquire of those who are at your table who have such a designation after their names on their name badges and to learn more about those designations. Our special thanks to our chapter members who planned today's event, Diane Dickey, Deborah Hirsch, Melody Ayers, Sandy Wright, and our AFP chapter administrator and event planner, Lisa Marash. We thank you very much for this event. Finally, we would also like to thank the Hilton Hotel for once again providing such a lovely setting and a terrific meal for us today. And a very special thanks to Kelsey Anglin of Anglin Creative for his event and expertise over there in the corner, making everything work technically. And Andy Petkis, you'll see, our ace photographer, who is helping us brighten the place with our smiles when she takes our pictures. We're privileged today, of course, to have returning as our Master of Ceremonies, a past recipient of the Outstanding Volunteer Fundraiser Award. Please join me in welcoming the lovely, the charming, the always delightful Gwyneth Gamble Booth.
Okay, good job. I'm always reminded when there's a lovely introduction like that I say to myself, gosh, I can't wait to hear what I'm going to say. At any rate, it's just wonderful to be here and to see so many old friends. This is always a wonderful luncheon. By the way, Charlie Hales may be over in the corner, and he's been mentioned several times, but I think we need to recognize Nancy Hales, his beautiful wife, who does so much for our community as well. Nancy, will you stand? I was honored to be asked to return and be your MC. I have new glasses, by the way. These are new reading glasses. I thought they were quite professorial. My children said, "Mom, you look like an owl." So if you're seeing an owl up here, it's because of these new reading glasses. At any rate, I'm very pleased to come back to the Hilton. Maybe some of you remember last year I sort of tweaked the Hilton because the light on the podium was so bad that nobody could read his or her scripts. Well, they've fixed that. It's perfect, and I don't have to call PGE again and say, get down and make sure the Hilton has paid its bill, and we can see what we're doing. Sam Vigil, as you know, is the head of the AFP and has done a fine job. Have you ever thought about names and how names can really sort of interest you in the person who's doing the job because the name seems to fit the job? For example, Stephen Bloom, who is the executive director of the Portland Japanese Garden. Bloom, garden, get it? Well, I thought about Sam Vigil, and he's doing an extraordinary job. But you know, vigil, I mean, do you realize what the dictionary says about vigil? It means that he is constantly on guard, watching all of you. And it also means that he's on guard, making sure you don't fall asleep. He is vigil. Sam Vigil. We're very lucky to have Sam. So I think that now we will start with the very first award, which is given to OMSI. And I ran into Nancy Stuber upstairs, and we were chatting about OMSI and what a huge, huge difference the OMSI outgrowth means to this city. I know that, Charlie, you understand this. Nancy Stuber is a remarkable, remarkable, remarkable woman. So with that, let me turn to my script. And this is for the Outstanding Volunteer Group. It recognizes that we are all in this world together and acting together, and we can make a difference. And I would say that OMSI totally represents this very well. So here to present this award is OMSI board member Don Ballum. And Don and his brother Larry and those Ballum boys are all so involved in our community. We are very lucky to have them. Don? Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you.
Thanks, Gwyneth. It's wonderful that the AFP recognizes the contributions of volunteers. There's so much at the heart of so much of the good work done by nonprofits in our community, and as a volunteer myself, I can attest to that. So let me tell you for a minute about OMSI. For almost 70 years, OMSI has inspired learning through great science experiences for over 1 million visitors each year. Its mission is to inspire curiosity through engaging science learning experiences, foster experimentation and the exchange of ideas, and stimulate informed action. Interactive resources like OMSI spark and maintain children's interest in science learning and expand their career options. Now, OMSI does not receive state or local dollars for operations, so to build and maintain great experiences like the USS Blueback, OMSI relies on the generosity of individual and corporate donors like those being honored today. We're very fortunate to have an internationally renowned science center like OMSI in our community, and I'd say we're even more fortunate to be the home to the USS Blueback, which is the most modern U.S. submarine on public display. So let me give you a few facts about the Blueback. She was launched in 1959. She was the last fast attack diesel-powered sub built by the U.S. Navy. She's named after the sockeye salmon, and she's appeared in various media, including the movies such as The Hunt for Red October and TV like Hawaii Five-0, for example. So two people I'd like to mention who were instrumental in getting the blueback here were Senator Mark Hatfield and Admiral John Barrett. Now, let me talk for a minute about the volunteers who are the ones being honored here. This award is particularly fitting this year because this is the 20th anniversary of the blueback being at OMSI. And we would not have the blueback if it were not for the dedication and commitment of over 50 volunteers. They contribute over 6,000 hours each year. The average tenure of a sub-volunteer is over 6 years, and many have been volunteering for 20 years. Over half are Navy veterans, and many served aboard submarines. If you've toured the blueback, as I have, you've seen firsthand the passion and knowledge that the volunteer tour guides bring to the experience. More than 75,000 people tour the blueback each year. And in addition to providing tours, there's a team of volunteers working behind the scenes to maintain the sub to rigorous Navy standards. As you can imagine, when something breaks, you can't just run down to Home Depot to get a new part. They put in 2,600 hours each year of volunteer time towards maintenance. So keeping true to OMSI's mission, this group of dedicated volunteers are inspiring the next generation of engineers, designers, and problem solvers. So please join me in thanking this group. And accepting the award on behalf of the volunteers is Earl Fleck. Thank you, Don.
On behalf of the blueback volunteers, I want to express our appreciation for your selection of our group for the 2014 Outstanding Volunteer Group Award. The blueback volunteers at OMSI are only a few represented here, make up 3 sections. The maintenance crew meets on Mondays. Gentlemen, would you please stand up? This part of the volunteer group meets on Mondays when the OMSI is usually closed and keeps the boat ship-shape, so to speak. The second group is our radio room section, who maintains and runs our ham radio station within the radio room on board the OMSI. And would those few volunteers stand up? Yes, they're standing. And lastly, the tour guides conduct visitor tours during museum operating hours. Again, stand up for our tour guides. Thank you, gentlemen. OMSI paid staff provides crucial administrative and logistical support, without which the volunteers would be hard-pressed to keep the blueback the important attraction that it is. There are many reasons for these folk volunteering for duty on the blueback. However, several reasons stand out. Some volunteers want to do something useful in retirement. Others want to maintain a camaraderie with their days in the military. Some volunteers, the young ones especially, are seeking to gain work experience by volunteering. However, the most important reason to support OMSI's mission is education in science and technology. From my perspective as a volunteer tour guide, some of my best experiences volunteering on the blueback are when I see the enthusiasm and interest of OMSI's main target, the children. The blueback has been open, as Don said, for over 20 years. If you've not had an opportunity to visit the boat, or if it's been a long time since you have visited, please come on down. We'd love to show you. It's a great educational experience. I know I speak for all of my volunteer colleagues in expressing our thanks to the Association of Fundraising Professionals for honoring the blueback volunteers for their service. Thank you.
Well, our next award is one that I feel very passionately about, but I had to recuse myself, if you will, from either presenting or accepting the award because I have a very close connection, as some of you may know, with the PGE Foundation. So I did recuse myself. But I'm very, very proud that the foundation has been picked this year as the Outstanding Philanthropic Foundation. We work very hard at trying to make a difference in our community. The Outstanding Philanthropic Foundation supports nonprofit organizational goals. It offers encouragement and motivation to nonprofits and grant makers alike. A grant maker that provides innovative approaches to philanthropy is something we really appreciate. Here to present this year's award is the Executive Director of Impact Northwest and the YWCA of Greater Portland, Susan Stoltenberg, and she will introduce Craig Arnson. But before I leave the podium, I want to mention the fact that Carol Morse is here today. Carol retired from the PGE Foundation last spring, but her impact on all the years that we worked together, her impact has left an indelible mark on the PGE Foundation, and I want to recognize Carol. She may be retired from PGE, but she is not retired from doing good work for our state and community. Carol, will you stand? All right, Susan?
I share admiration for Carol and the way she has also shaped the last several years' legacy of the PGE Foundation. And I'm honored to be the one giving this award this year, or presenting the award. From Communities for Safe Kids to urban opportunities, to pathways to manufacturing and careers in health education, the PGE Foundation has supported Impact Northwest and others by providing resources to our community through a wide range of partnerships and programs. It's the forward-thinking vision of the PGE Foundation that sees the value of investing in the collective impact model of philanthropy, a model that Impact Northwest has embraced since our birth in 1966, when 4 neighborhood associations and 5 faith communities came together to try to see what they could do about the blight that was occurring at that time in Southeast Portland. At the core of the PGE Foundation investment strategy is the priority to support the development of safe and healthy families. The PGE Foundation believes that in order to be ready to meet life's challenges head-on, today and tomorrow, one must have a healthy mind and body, and that begins with their support of foundational programs such as housing and basic needs. Knowing that education is the key to ending the cycle of poverty, moving toward more prosperous communities, in the last few years, the PGE Foundation has increased their investments in areas of STEM and STEAM, that is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. We'll talk about arts in a minute because that's also a proud part of the PGE Foundation legacy. Innovation and creativity, 8th grade math, high school graduation, and post-secondary pathways to careers along the cradle-to-career spectrum. In 2014 alone, PGE Foundation awarded more than $1 million to nonprofits that share their vision for building a stronger community together. In addition, PGE sees the arts and culture as vital to creating a sense of place, challenging assumptions, and changing the way we each view the world. The arts not only promote community engagement, they are the very foundation of economic vitality in this region. For our children, the arts are proven to build critical problem-solving skills and to help improve both literacy skills and math aptitude. We cannot succeed without the arts. Children will not develop without the arts. The Foundation's deep roots in the community come from a willingness to be a convener, too, to take a seat at the table, to bring their voice to the discussion. Like other corporate funders, the PGE Foundation has a long-standing commitment to the community that goes above and beyond writing a check. It is willingness of the likes of Carol Morse, Kimberly Howard, and Doug Finley and those like them to roll up their sleeves and dig into the really challenging discussions that face our communities and that will lead us together toward solutions. This commitment to its community has earned PGE Foundation the award for 2014 Outstanding Philanthropic Foundation from the Association of Fundraising Professionals, Oregon and Southwest Washington chapter. The award recognizes a community grant-making organization that offers encouragement and inspiration to nonprofits and grant makers while supporting nonprofit organizational goals. As one of hundreds, probably thousands of recipients of that goodwill, good intention, and good leadership, I say thank you, and Craig Arnson will be here to accept on behalf of the foundation.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good afternoon. Thank you, Susan, so much, and thank you for your leadership in the community and for being such a great collaborator. On behalf of the PGE Foundation Board of Directors and staff, we're extremely grateful for this recognition from the Association of Fundraising Professionals. I'm thrilled to stand before you representing the PGE Foundation, but as was mentioned earlier, I'm the new kid on the block because Miss Morse retired in May. And there are three people I look back at really being the driving force in terms of bringing the foundation to where it is today. And that's Carol Dillon, who isn't here with us today. Carol Morse, of course, has been mentioned, and Gwyneth Gamble Booth. They are outstanding women who are dedicated to giving back with passion and compassion. They were there when Enron purchased PGE, and as part of the merger agreement, created a $25 million endowed foundation to benefit the Oregon community. They set the strategy, they set up the systems, they traveled around the region, meeting people of all kinds and learning about community issues. They launched Community 101, our student grant-making program that we continue to support in collaboration with the Oregon Community Foundation. They joined forces with other funders to advance philanthropy in the region, and they developed strong relationships with hundreds of people who are changing lives and leading change in our community. Many of you are in the room. I have learned so much over the last 18 years from them. A few things come to mind. First, be curious and advocate strongly for the things you believe in. Be willing to be the first out of the gate as a funder and take a risk, even if it doesn't work out exactly the way you thought it would. Those times of challenge are when you learn the most. And carve out time, even though there's never enough of it, to connect with people on the front lines who are working so hard to make an impact. Because we're all in this together. Your theme for today's lunch, Changing the World with a Giving Heart. It's a contact sport, right? All of us at the PGE Foundation are humbled to be on this journey with you as we focus our efforts on creating pathways for young people to pursue college and careers, sparking imaginations through arts and culture, and supporting the safety and health of our customers. Now, in addition to Gwyneth and I here today, we have several board and staff. Our CEO, Jim Pyro, is here today, along with our Vice President and President of the Foundation, Dave Robertson. We have Dave Carbonneau, who's on our board, as well as our staff, Kimberly Howard and Rachel DeRoja. And we're all a great team, and I'm so glad they're here. And we salute the courageous community partners who are not only using proven ways to achieve great outcomes for our citizens, but also trying new models full of what we like to say around the office, disruptive innovation. So thank you for honoring the PGE Foundation today, and thank you for the opportunity to stand by you in shaping Oregon's future. Thank you very much.
you can see how nice it is for me to work with Craig. He is one of those really talented, really, really good guys. So thank you, Craig. All right, now we're going to honor the Outstanding Volunteer Fundraiser. That is a person who is a special volunteer who motivates others to give and commits time and energy without compensation. Without compensation. He or she offers organizations and fundraising staff their talent for strategy, relationship enhancement, and the successful solicitation of donations. I should tell you that my husband, Brian Booth, my late husband, and I received this award about, I think 10 years ago, I can't remember exactly. And it meant a great deal to both of us. We received it for different nonprofit groups, but it was fun to receive it jointly with him. And all of you know how it is to raise money, whether you're a professional or a volunteer. It's hard, it's arduous, it takes passion, and it takes commitment. So I feel very honored to tell you about this next person who's winning it. But this person who's going to receive the award is a man who I think exemplifies the very best of giving back to the community. His concept of working and inspiring others to make a better world is just without peer. So with that, I'm going to, what's this? We have the Cat in the Hat to present this next award. What? There's the cat. Well, for goodness sakes, hello. I love your hat. I love your hat. Nice to see you. All right.
I have a story for all of you today. The rain did not fall. It was the perfect day, so we jumped in our cars on that warm, sunny day. I surveyed the crowd at Beach's summer cruisin', and I said, wow, they're here to give back, and that's no foolin'. So you see, Mr. Mark, you're inspiring to all who want to give with you whenever you call. Your cruisin' is huge and grows every year with gifts to our community, totaling over $1 million last year. It's the kids that you love, with all that you do, helping them thrive until they know what to do. Our one-of-a-kind drumline wanted to perform, but needed help getting a truck with a horn. Who stepped in? Of course you all know, and gave them a truck so they could get on with the show. Boys and Girls Club thinks you're so smooth as you auction off prizes to guess who can't lose. Vancouver students can't wait to see you serving green eggs and ham with Cindy Lou Who. Cindy Lou Who? Now who could that be? His famous sidekick we all know as Allie. His team at Beaches can't wait to dig in, to volunteer their time to see our community win. We are here to celebrate you, Mark Mathias, Volunteer Fundraiser of the Year, and one of the kindest. I now introduce to you a man that we all love. Let's welcome Mark and give him a big hug.
I think everybody's just standing and you're getting a little edgy, and you know, if we don't get on the road soon, we're never getting across that bridge. Jennifer, interesting introduction. That forces me to immediately lower everyone's expectations. You know, this is truly an honor, but it's
I'm not usually uncomfortable in front of crowds, and this is pretty uncomfortable for me. You know, you're in a room full of people that everyone in here gives so much back to the community and people in need. And we all have unique backgrounds, careers, financial means, motivations, but when we get in this room, we're very, very similar. We give time, we give money, or we give both, and we do it because we care. We don't do it so that we can be standing up here. And we don't do it alone. It's always a team of people working alongside us that gets the results. It's always a team. And we've all had those moments that are both heart-wrenching and amazing all at the same time. And those moments are those times when we give something of ourselves and we get something back, and it's a feeling. It's a feeling you get back that you don't lose, and it motivates you. And we all have those moments, and one I always remember is years ago, I had the privilege of giving a new coat to a 3-year-old homeless boy. And I'll never forget the smile on his face or the look in his eyes. It's just a coat, not to him. You don't, I don't know why I tried to tell that one. It's a moment. You don't forget those. And that's what inspires all of us. Those moments create passion that motivates us to work together. It unites us. Most of us give, and I think this is the cool part of it, we give to someone we've never even met, and the odds are we never will. And that's a pretty special thing that we all do. I was watching the national news this morning, which I have no idea why. You turn it on every day and it's the same. And I got to laughing. The only reason I'm saying this, I'm laughing because I knew I was coming here today. And I thought, now here's a very diverse room of people, probably all different thought processes and our ideals and philosophies. And I thought, you know what? We just got to take this whole group of people here today, take the whole group to Washington, get rid of the yahoos, and we get it done because we remember. We understand that it's about others and it's not about us. We get that, and that's why we're in this room. How do I get motivated? It's real simple. It's the people around me. Allie is very inspirational to me, and she'll probably be up here, and she's probably more than an inspiration, a lot more than an inspiration. It's my team that's here, Monica and Donna and Carly and Tanya, Molly. I think I got all of you guys. You know, my team gets it. They understand the connection between a business and a community, and they inspire me. It's my son Michael and my grandson Maddie and my sisters Gail and April and my brother Rick. Family. The family unit still inspires, and it motivates. And then it's all my crazy friends that are here, and I mean that with all due respect. You know, we work hard. We have a little fun while we're doing it, but we work with purpose to attack the issues of our neighbors. And yes, there are neighbors that need help. And it's everyone else in the room. Everyone inspires someone to create new moments. And it'd be great to create a lot more. Thank you for this recognition. This is truly an honor.
How do you follow the cat in the hat? Pretty hard. Our next award is the Outstanding Philanthropic Corporation Award. And it recognizes a business that through the foundation, their foundation, the corporation's foundation, corporate giving program or employee giving program commits significant financial or in-kind resources to assist organizations in meeting community needs. And it also is an entity that is a solid, community-minded corporate citizen. So here to present the award is President and CEO and founder of Self-Enhancement, Inc. And his idea, his concept of working and inspiring others is well known throughout not only Portland, but the state. So I'm very proud to introduce the founder of Self-Enhancement, Inc., the president and CEO of Self-Enhancement, Inc. You all know him, Tony Hobson, Sr. Hello, Tony. Wow, you're so wonderful. Okay, I'll let you, do you want me to move those, or, okay?
Oh, I'm fine. Good afternoon. All right, so we hear about giving, so I'm going to say that again. Good afternoon. Much, much better. It's a great opportunity for me to be asked to introduce this next honoree. In philanthropy, I learned early that most often people give money to people first, and the agency, the program, or the project second. First of all, they want to know what the individual actually represents. Are they sincere? Are they passionate and committed about what they're doing? Do they have integrity? Will they be good stewards of the resources? And today we might go a step further and they may ask, is diversity and equity important to them? What many of us have come to realize about Wells Fargo is that they are not just about the programs and services they provide or the resources that they share. At Wells, it's about the people and the relationships that they build with people, with folks like us. It's Tracy Curtis, actively involved, chairing fundraising events for Cascade AIDS and the Heart Association's galas. It's Casey Kalinsky making things happen at Self-Enhancement, Inc. It's Ralph Ham creating opportunities for his entire department to get involved with the broader community. It's Kobe Jackson, rooted in community and making sure that the two communities, Wells and Portland, are connected. And it's Bernie Kronberger, just simply being Bernie and turning bad days into good ones. It's the countless Wells Fargo volunteers filling in the gaps all across our city. Wells Fargo is about real people connecting with real community, with real challenges and finding real solutions. It's my pleasure to present the 2014 Award for Outstanding Philanthropic Corporation to Wells Fargo, and accepting the award is its regional president, the Miss Tracy No One Talks Like Me Curtis.
I don't know, the opening video, there was somebody who talked like me on there, so I obviously have some peeps in the house here. So thank you so much, Tony. So as previously been said, this room is full of people whose lives have been dedicated to supporting our community, and we all have a different reason on why we do that. So I thought I would share with you one of the reasons why the Wells Fargo culture is about supporting our community. So back in 1875, because as you know, we were formed in 1852, in 1875, one of our founders, Henry Wells, said this quote that we use often today. May we all remember that our lives are not measured by the number of years and days we exist, but by what we accomplish while we do live, and the good we may render to our fellow man. So as you can see, this community, giving back to our community, is part of my company's culture and our vision and values. It's been that way for 162 years, and as a result, we have a long tradition with collaborating with nonprofit groups. And we certainly share that goal with all of you about improving the community in which we work, live, and play. We believe that we can achieve so much more by partnering with all of you than we could on our own. And a great example of that is our partnership with SEI and Tony. We donate millions of dollars through the Oregon region, but that's really not what I'm most proud of. What I'm really proud of is the thousands, hundreds of thousands of hours that our team members volunteer for many of the nonprofits in this room. If we don't sit on a board, we may be serving food, or we'll help with a committee, or we're digging holes, or I was laying foundation for Habitat. God help those people who live in that house. So I will go on record to say I'm so sorry. Hopefully they have quality control. Check it after I was done. So it's really evidence of our team members being out there that as a corporation we believe in community support, and so do all of us that work there. And because all of you know one particular person in this room, I feel like I need to point him out, but Bernie is here. Where he is. Don't let him fool you. He said he's been in Mexico for a few days. He was there for almost a month, I'm sure. Yeah. So he's back. Please don't tell me you want his job, because he's here. We don't. He's still here. So again, I will tell you that my mom used to say, it's what you do when no one's looking that counts. So we don't do this for recognition. However, we are really appreciative when someone does notice. So on behalf of Mr. Fargo, Mr. Wells, and 6,500 team members we have here in the state of Oregon, thank you.
Well done, Wells Fargo. This is inspiring. You know what? We are halfway through the program, halfway through the awards. At this time, I'd like to pause a moment to recognize our platinum sponsor, the Oregon Community Foundation, whose mission includes improving life for Oregon and promoting effective philanthropy. I had the honor of serving for 9 years on the OCF board. This was some years ago when Greg Chalet became head of it, and we were thrilled, just thrilled when the Community Foundation reached the $5 million mark and then the $10 million mark. Well, you know what it is now. It is way, way, way beyond that. I am very proud of the Oregon Community Foundation, and I learned so much serving on that board when I did. It really was a lesson in philanthropy, a lesson in giving, and a lesson in making sure that the money given was wisely spent and did the job that it was supposed to do. So with that, I would like to introduce now the platinum sponsor and actually the chair of the Oregon Community Foundation, who's going to come now and accept the remark, Sue Miller. And there she is. Hi, Sue. Now, will these be in your way? I hope not. Okay, great.
That is perfect.
Good.
Good afternoon. I just want to acknowledge my fellow board members and former board members and staff and many, many donors for the Oregon Community Foundation who are here today. It is an honor for OCF to be a sponsor of this event where we are recognizing and honoring people all over the state who have made a tremendous difference in their communities and for the state in general. This year marks OCF's 40th anniversary, so we've used this as sort of an excuse to have parties all over the state. It's been really fun. We've gone from Portland to Klamath Falls, Pendleton to Coos Bay, and everywhere in between, celebrating with our donors, our volunteers, and our nonprofit partners. Aren't we fortunate to live in such a magnificent state? Earlier this year, OCF published a report on giving in Oregon. It's something we've done annually for the last decade or more. Among the findings in that report were two powerful conclusions. First, even in the midst of the recession, individual Oregonians increased their giving, while the national rankings were going down. And secondly, Oregonians gave more time as volunteers than the national average. And when donors were asked why did they gave two primary responses. First, they wanted to help others who are less fortunate. And secondly, they wanted to make the world a better place. I'm confident that these findings are reflective of our honorees as well as our guests today. So on behalf of OCF, I want to congratulate all of the honorees today. We are pleased to be a part of this event and honored to be here with you. Thank you. Thanks, Jenna.
How lucky are we to have the Oregon Community Foundation and the work it does in Oregon? Well, as I said, we're better than halfway through. As you can see, 3 awards left to be given. Now, this next award is really just very, very special. It's the Outstanding Philanthropist Award. And this award pays tribute to an exceptional individual or a couple who generously provide a lead gift or substantially assist a nonprofit organization. And I can tell you that this couple have done that over and over and over again. I'm not going to list all the organizations they have helped, but if you know them, you know how generous they have been to so many organizations. This year's couple, and that's what they are, they fulfill every word of the description that an individual or family who offers philanthropic leadership. I think a lot of you know the song, I'm putting on my top coat, putting on my hat, and I won't torture you with any more singing. Putting on the Ritz is what I was trying to get to. And I'm very happy to tell you that today, to introduce Pat and Trudy Ritz. Lynn, are you here? Yeah, okay, thank you. All right, so to introduce this award, Lynn, she is the Executive Director of Youth Villages Oregon. You've known Lynn Saxton in many roles. She's an outstanding woman in her own right, and I'm really honored to be standing up here with her. So Lynn is going to introduce the Ritzes. Okay, now can I leave these here?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Gwyneth. It's my privilege today to introduce the 2014 AFP Outstanding Philanthropists, Pat and Trudy Ritz. Nothing could be more exciting for me and for you. In Oregon, we have been blessed with a number of couples who have changed the landscape of our state and philanthropy. To name a few, Arlene and Harold Schnitzer, Bill and Karen Early, Cindy and Duncan Campbell, Phil and Penny Knight, and the list goes on and on. In Pat and Trudy's focus on the arts and children and education across our state, they have done 3 critical things to change that landscape. First, they've brought vision. Second, focus. And third, that amazing Oregon pragmatism that brought the pioneers here in the first place. Trudy has been a volunteer for the Christie School, now Youth Villages, for over 35 years. And during that time, she has ensured through her grace and her hard work and her commitment that thousands of children and families know that they aren't forgotten, that they are important, and that they are loved. She is the heart and soul of our organization and for many other organizations like ours. Pat has brought his business acumen to over 20, yes, that's correct, over 20 nonprofit boards in our state. And I think we should pause for a minute and just wonder how many of those could even be here today if it weren't for Pat's leadership. Their combined leadership talents define commitment. Please join me in honoring two of Oregon's finest citizens and our 2014 Outstanding Philanthropists.
Thank you. Before we walked onto the stage, I mentioned to Trudy that the last time she was in front of,
They want to hear you.
she was in front of 600 or 700 people at the Hilton Ballroom was when she was chairman of the Children's Charity Ball back in the 90s. And I said, Trudy, were you nervous? She said, oh no, I wasn't nervous. Well, I think she was, if I remember correctly. You know, having to follow Lynn Saxton, and I would also say to follow Mark Mathias and the comments they made about philanthropy and giving and involvement, that's a tough act to follow. It was 35 years ago that Trudy got involved with Christie School, and she came home one night and said, you know, this is a great organization, but they need some board members that have some business acumen. And after some arm twisting, she got me to join my first board. And it's been quite a road to follow since those days. I had started a business in 1982, and my involvement between them and then in the mid-90s was primarily as a volunteer, like many of you are, belonging to boards, helping in fundraising, writing small checks from time to time when available between raising a family. Then success hit, and I was able to sell a company with a great financial reward. And at the time, I said to myself, you know, the only reason I have these financial rewards is because of the state of Oregon. It was a business that only did business in Oregon. And there was enough for lots of people, including ourselves and our family. And at that time, we made a commitment to share with the community. And since I was already involved in a number of boards, it was pretty easy step to start adding zeros to some of those checks. And it's been extremely rewarding. In fact, at a time when I thought that the cash flow was diminishing a little bit, I got in a second business. And so now I have a second business that frankly is contributing to our ability to help fund your fine organizations. Now, if I could find somebody who wants to buy a work shoe company so I can finally retire, please see me after the meeting. You know, I have a lot of friends that are great philanthropists. I have friends that have means, but they're going to bequeath their legacy in their wills. And what I would say to those of you out there in these circumstances, it's a lot more fun to give it away when you're alive and to give it away in organizations that you're involved in and know and can see the results of both your financial good works and also your energy and effort. Yes. So, this is a great honor for Trudy and I. Gwyneth read the names of some of the previous award winners, and frankly, we do not consider ourselves in that category. And so it's a special honor for you to probably recognize us, not just for the checks we write, but the energies and efforts we put in to try to make nonprofits easier and better able to meet their objectives in serving the community of Oregon. Thank you very much.
To go. The Vollum Award is the next award for Lifetime Philanthropic Achievement. You know, Jean and Howard Vollum left a legacy that their sons continue to maintain today. You saw Don earlier with OMSI, and I mentioned working with Larry Vollum at the Portland Japanese Garden. He is heading our capital campaign, and he and his wife, Dory. But I think today that this award is so very special because the Vollums seeded our community with their largesse, and it goes on and on and on. It's that proverbial pebble in the pond with the ripples that go on and on and on. That's what the Vollum money continues to do. So here, this award recognizes individuals who, during their lifetimes, as Jean and Howard did, have tirelessly committed themselves to bettering their community, our community, through serving, through funding, and enlisting support for a wide range of various charitable causes, community causes. So here to present the award today is the President and Chief Mission Officer of Peace Health, Alan Yordy. Alan?
Well, thank you, Gwyneth. I also want to thank Ed Ray, who's here somewhere, the president of Oregon State University today, whose foresight, Ed, there you go, whose foresight was instrumental in bringing to the award committee the attention that the Justina family deserves, that we're about to honor. It's really a pleasure to celebrate this family, this Justina, Nat, and Jackie's family. It's one of the great philanthropic families in Oregon. Their contributions have spanned decades, and now we're seeing, as with the Vollums, the torch being passed to that next generation, and the next generation picking up and carrying on to help organizations throughout the state. Nat was an extraordinary individual who possessed great business acumen, and he had a heart for service. Jackie was a strong supporter of Nat's volunteerism, which took him away from home, as many of you know who volunteer, many, many hours. Today, their generosity is recognized through one of the highest awards in Peace Health, which is an award to acknowledge people not only giving of their resources, but also giving of their time. And several of you have mentioned today how important that giving of time is, the Justina Philanthropy Award. Now, Peace Health was founded more than a century ago when two sisters came to the Northwest to found the first hospital in Northwest Washington. Nat was one of the first lay people who the sisters recognized having great business acumen, called upon for service and counsel. Beginning more than 5 decades ago, Nat became one of the first lay advisory board members. Prior to that, it was all sisters. And then became one of the first system governing board members. Now, Jackie recounts Nat's comments when he was about to leave to one of these meetings. Nat said, "Gotta go, I gotta go help the girls." Classic Nat Justina. Yeah. Today, Natalie, Larry, and Irene carry on that legacy that their mother and father built over so many years, improving institutions of higher education, forestry, and healthcare, giving back in so many ways. And this takes me back to 2005 and Nat's memorial service. As we sat in the St. Mary's Parish in Eugene, reflecting on the many tributes that those remembering Nat that day, we ended by listening to Nat's favorite Frank Sinatra song, "I Did It My Way." Indeed, he did. We honor Nat, Jackie, and the entire family today. You have touched so many lives. Keep on doing it your way. Now, here to accept the award is Nat and Jackie's daughter, Natalie Newlove. Natty?
Thank you, Ellen. Before I begin, I would like to introduce my family who is with me today, and it would not be possible without my mother, Jackie Justina, sister Irene Goldbeck, niece Kate Hudson, and nephew Mark Justina. I'm just sorry my brother Larry, son Brandon, and nieces Marissa and Justina could not be here today to help acknowledge this Solemn Award for Lifetime Philanthropic Achievement. We are so honored to be in the company of others whom we have admired for years, and we congratulate the other award winners today. My parents, Nat and Jackie Justina, started our family foundation 20 years ago. Working together has enriched our lives and brought us closer. Larry, Irene, and I watched and learned from our parents as they gave not only money and advice, but time, and more time to organizations they believed in. Both were born in Portland and were raised in Lane County, and in turn raised their families in Eugene. From our foundation's beginning, the focus of our giving has been to groups in the state of Oregon, predominantly in Eugene. The family business grew and thrived in Eugene, so it was logical that our giving would be to entities that we interacted with daily. When a grandchild, and soon to be great-grandchild, reaches 15 years old, they are invited to come to a foundation meeting as an observer. At 16, they become a voting member. Everyone is equal and encouraged to speak candidly. In recent years, it has been the third generation who have done the background research of the requests we receive. Many a meeting has been enlivened by everyone on their laptop or phone downloading the latest figures or updated history of a group we are considering. There are many needs in our state, and we as a foundation take seriously our responsibility to help where we can. We try and follow my father's mission statement, which leans towards educational and healthcare concerns. All of us have our special areas of interest, and sharing these enlarges the pool of those we try to help. Many a time, an individual in the family has come forward to help when the request did not meet those foundation guidelines. The learning process is ongoing. My siblings and I have enjoyed teaching our children the philosophy handed down by our parents. With compassion, hard work, and a never-give-up spirit, we have been blessed to help others in Eugene, Lane County, and the state of Oregon. Thank you very much for this award.
Well, now we're going to have our last award, and it's the Allen Price Award for Distinguished Service in the Fundraising Profession. I think a lot of you had a chance to know Alan. I first met him when he was doing fundraising for the University of Oregon, although I am not a duck and I'm not a beaver, but I'm a husky, I know. Yeah. Yay, there are some of you out there. The fact of the matter is that the man who is going to be presenting this award is the Allen Price Award, is a man who himself could be receiving the award. He could be receiving the award in many of our categories today. He's a man who is incredibly involved in our community, and right now he is still over the moon on a high because of what happened on Saturday night when Oregon State beat Arizona State. I know Jim Pyro is happy about that too. At any rate, my friend Jim Brudd has been exemplary in the fundraising profession, and he's not a professional fundraiser, as you know, but he encourages others, and he's involved in so many community nonprofits. So with that, I'm honored to introduce Jim Brudd, who will make our last presentation. Jim?
Thank you, everybody. I'm tempted to say that I hope it's the last Saturday night was the first of the next three, but I'm not going to take the bait and do that because I have two University of Oregon tables right out here in the middle. But I do hope we can beat the Huskies. We'll put it that way.
Everybody beats the Huskies.
As Mark Mathias mentioned in his heartfelt comments when he received the Volunteer Fundraiser Award, this philanthropy does expose you to some incredibly special moments. And the only thing I would, And the only thing I would add is that it also exposes you to some incredibly special people. And it's my opportunity right now to talk about two of them. And it's not often a person is asked to not only introduce an award named after a personal friend, but to also present that award to another personal friend. But that's my very high privilege today. The late Allen Price's impact on our state, and in particular the University of Oregon and Oregon Health Sciences University, can be seen and felt today as both these great institutions are in campaigns to raise billions of dollars for higher education and for medical research. The Allen Price Award recognizes a professional development officer who, quote, demonstrates exceptional skill and enthusiasm for their work, pursues big ideas and successfully engages others in achieving them, and inspires new levels of giving among donors. That was Allen Price, and that's Allen's enduring legacy. Mike Goodwin, the president of the Oregon State University Foundation, is this year's awardee. There is no one more deserving of this award this year than Mike Goodwin. President Ed Ray and Mike Goodwin are wrapping up the highly successful campaign for OSU, raising more than $1.13 billion. Not only a state record, but when OSU crossed the $1 billion mark, it was only one of 35 public universities nationwide to ever achieve that milestone. The campaign also achieved wide support, attracting more than 105,000 donors, with more than 1,100 of them donating $100,000 or more. President Ray said that what distinguishes Mike's contribution to OSU most is that he's transformed the role of the foundation across the entire university. Mike is a leader at OSU, and the foundation's influence now permeates all aspects of Oregon State. Fundraising has become a critical part of the OSU culture. Mike has also earned the respect of his peers in higher education. He is the chair-elect of CASE, the Council for the Advancement and Support of Education. It's a global nonprofit educational association that includes more than 3,600 colleges and universities in 82 countries, serving nearly 74,000 advancement professionals. Mike's 30-year career includes a leadership role at Washington State University during his first ever campaign, a 10-year stint as a vice president at Georgetown University, where he directed Georgetown's first $1 billion campaign. But most importantly to all of us, it's the indelible mark and impact he has left on our state and Oregon State University since he joined Beaver Nation in November of 2004. Mike and his wife Sheila have been married for 44 years, and together they've raised 3 children, Kelly, Katie, and Sean. Please join me in welcoming J. Michael Goodwin, this year's recipient of the Allen Price Award for Distinguished Service to the fundraising profession.
How are you? You know, I just have to start by thanking you, Jim, for that very kind introduction, but most of all for giving Sheila and me the chance to move out here from D.C. 10 years ago to the great state of Oregon, which is now our home. So thank you very much. I know I've told you this before, but meeting you and Kathy in that interview process was just so key to that decision, and it's been great to be friends with you guys ever since, so thank you. And if I may, I'd like to just introduce a couple of family members. Our daughter Katie, who, as Jim mentioned, is here. She's a physician with Kaiser here in Portland. And I'm going to ask Sheila to stand up so you can see how into this she is by her wardrobe color choices today. And Sheila's very active in her own right with the ARCS Foundation and also as a past chair of the Benton Community Hospice. Did I get that right? Okay, down in Corvallis. So I'd just like to make 2 quick points today and just start off by saying what an incredible honor it is to receive an award named after my friend Alan, and also to follow Carolyn Winter in receiving this award, who's truly one of the legends of fundraising here in Portland. You know, just a couple of weeks ago, we had on our campus Yamhill County native New York Times columnist Nicholas Kristof. He was there. We were spent a day and a half celebrating the campaign that Jim mentioned. And the central theme of his talk that day, as is the case in the new book that he's just come out with, is altruism is contagious. And it turns out that there's actually some neurological evidence that supports that claim, and much of it, it's actually cited in his book, was done by one of our professors down at Oregon State in Corvallis named Serena Saturn. And I could go on and on talking about her work, but she's found that people who are altruistic are also happier, less stressed, and feel more compassion for others. And I was thinking to myself, that's probably why it feels so darn good to come to this luncheon every November, because it's a room full of people like that. And thinking about Alan, I think one of the things that really stands out for me in remembering him is that he really recognized those truths. As you probably would guess, as the chief fundraisers for the state's 2 largest research universities, and as you could tell by the banter during the course of the lunch today, we were friendly rivals, but the emphasis was always on the friendly part of that. And Alan's approach was that we were not just, we were not dividing up the pie, we were about growing the size of the pie. And he was someone that really understood what Kristof said, that altruism really is contagious, and that support for one of our institutions was bound, as I think Mark said earlier, to help motivate support for other philanthropies in our great state of Oregon. His work on the University of Oregon campaign, it was legendary, his work at OHSU, and it's encouraged an awful lot of us to just set our sights higher for fundraising, as has been seen in the way the goals are moving ever upward. Congratulations to you guys on your $2 billion campaign, to OHSU on the Night Challenge, and to all the others here who are really following Alan's legacy and really trying to do ever more for our community. Alan just left a great footprint on advancement in Oregon. Very proud to carry on with all of you the high level of integrity and professionalism that in which he conducted himself. And my second point is just simply that any award like this is about a team. And I could spend about the next half hour going through the team at Oregon State. I owe a great debt of gratitude to the people that I've had the wonderful opportunity to work with. Jim, of course, but our president, Ed Ray, who's here, our provost, Sabah Randawa, my good friend, Sean Scoville, who's the executive vice president of our foundation, Pat Reeser, Jim, and Pat Stone, who couldn't be here today, who were just exemplary volunteer leaders in our campaign for OSU. I just want you to know that I share this award with each of you. So thank you again for this honor. It's great to be here with you today, and I look forward to seeing you again next year.
Well, before I turn it back over to Sam Vigil, I want you each to participate by yourselves, not vocally, in thinking about if you had a theme song, if there was a song that you thought best represented your philosophy, what would it be? And some people would say today, Happy Days Are Here Again, or some people might say, Blue Skies. I really think AFP could use as its motto, you've got to accentuate the positive, because that's what they do. That's what all of you, I also wanted another chance to sing. At any rate, I want to thank you all for being here today, for being a wonderful, wonderful audience. And most of all, I want to thank our awardees who really exemplify the best in Oregon. Thank you all for coming. It's been a wonderful afternoon.
Right here.
There you are.
Right here.
All right.
Terrific.
Okay.
Thank you, Gwyneth. Great job again. Once again, thank you very much. What a great way to begin the week, isn't this? So congratulations again to our award recipients, and thank you for your outstanding service to our communities. And thank you to our sponsors, without whom we couldn't have done this event. Presenting sponsors, Oregon State University Foundation, University of Oregon, and our platinum sponsor, Oregon Community Foundation, and our media sponsor, Oregonian Media Group. Thank you very much. So thank you all for attending this event. Put it on your calendars for next year. We'll get the word out soon. And thank you for being with us today. Have a great afternoon, a great week. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. Wonderful job. You did a great job yourself. Thank you. It's been wonderful to work with you.